What's up, y'all? You're watching Brooklyn Shuffleboard, and you are about to learn some shuffleboard strategy and watch the finals of the Royal Palms Brooklyn summer season. It is Banquet, baby. We have two teams in the finals, Sky Daddies, who have never made it to Banquet before, but Glendon on the team won Thanksgiving last fall, and Big Tang Theory, a super team with many familiar faces to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and get ready for a fun match. All right, and we are kicking this thing off. Frame 1 of 8. We have Sky Daddies on yellow, Big Tang Theory playing black, and already some action as Chester goes for a clear and whiffs. So yeah, just third shot of the match, Sky Daddy's going for a hide, trying to put that disc in the right side of the 8 scoring area, and comes up a little short. Yeah, quick note on format, we're playing, this is Royal Palms Summer Banquet, of course, 2 out of 3 8-frame games. We have teams of 4 playing. There's 2 separate games, so this game goes on now. After 8 frames, whoever's ahead wins the match, and then teams switch color. 2 different people play for each team, play another 8-frame game, and if the same team wins 2 games, they win the whole match, and they are the Summer Banquet champions, Summer 2024 Brooklyn League champions. And if they split it, you go to a 4-frame tiebreaker, which I will talk about when it comes to it, and boy, am I hoping for a tiebreaker, because I love the drama, baby. All right, so back to the action. Sky Daddies put up a block down the outside, which is a really nice block, trying to stop Chester from going down the alley there. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Chester does. It looks like he's lining up for a clear of that disc that was just shot. Yeah, kind of sticks it. And this is sort of what you want if you're yellow. I mean, you don't have any hide opportunities here. So it's really, really hard to shoot cross court and score an 8 or a 7 on the right side of the board, where those 3 other discs would be in the way for black to clear it out. So instead, if you don't have the hide opportunity, you don't really need to force it. Just block the left side of the board, make Chester have to go down that alley down the right side, and which would be a really hard hammer for him. So I think that's probably what yellow's going for. Let's see if they can get it. All right, speed looks pretty good. Yeah, and that's picture perfect. Ooh, it curls into a 10. Wow, did you see that disc move to camera right? That looked like it was going to be a perfect block, and it just kept going and curved to the right a little bit. And Chester is going to have an impossible hammer here, yeah. Really, really hard shot. The only thing you can do when someone has, the only thing you can do on your hammer in that situation is go for the kitchen. But so early in the game, the last thing you want is to try to put your opponent in the -10 and then come up short and leave them in points. So Chester definitely puts a little extra mustard on it. Clears it out, which is great, but doesn't score on his hammer. So very successful frame 1 from Sky Daddies, stealing Big Tang Theory's hammer. All right, frame 2 of 8. Roger starts with the same Pete. And yeah, yellow tries to clear it and ends up moving it into a 10, which, you know, seems like it'd be good. You have a scoring 10 there, but that's something that Roger can try to put in the kitchen if he wants to. Yeah, it doesn't really go for the kitchen, but was able to move his blocker disc further to the left, so that he does have a potential hide opportunity in the future. Shuffleboard is all, if you're new to the channel and you're learning how to play, Shuffleboard's all about having these discs up front, and because yellow shoots from one side of the court and black shoots from the other side of the court, there are different spaces on the court that when there's a disc up front that one person can access that the other can't. So like this is a great example. There's a yellow disc there now. Roger's looking at it from his opponent's side, and he's going to put a disc in the 7 all the way on the left side where that yellow one's in the way. Let's see if he can get it. Yeah, really, really nice shot. Really, 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 really nice shot, especially early in the game. Yellow can maybe see the right edge of it, but it's definitely going to be hard. They shoot it nice and hard, and they get it out barely. Really nice shot from yellow. Yeah, so playing... Well, I'll tell you after a second. So yeah, Roger going for attempt number 2 on the hide after that really nice clear from Sky Daddies. Just took this shot, able to adjust, and he unfortunately ends on the 7-8 line. I mean, a little bit harder, that would have been a sort of another really difficult hammer 2 frames in a row, but instead he ends up on the 7-8 line, which is worth no score, and yellow's just going to try to score an 8 on the right. Looks pretty good, maybe a little soft? No, gets in there great. Really nice 8. Beautiful. So, yeah, after 2 frames, it's 8 yellow, 0 black. So, yeah, let's introduce you guys to these players here, because you haven't seen many of them on the channel. We have JM playing at the head of the court down there with the red shorts on Sky Daddies. And we got Johnny down here with the gray shorts playing at the foot. And then shooting right now at the head for black, for Big Tang Theory, that's Chester. He typically plays on big money, big prizes. I love it. Who have made it and won the banquet before. Check out that episode on the Brooklyn Shuffleboard YouTube channel. And we have Roger down here, another familiar face for the channel, who's played in many a banquet, also has won one with Ting Tang Walla Bing Bang. So this is sort of on black like a sort of super team, mashup team of players that all have really strong individual success. And Sky Daddies are sort of like the homegrown 4 guys that know each other really well, that have like gotten good together. Yeah, so definitely gonna be a fun one. All right, Chester puts up kind of like in between a St. Pete and a Tampa. It's something that either person can hide behind if they want it. But I think given that they're up 8 after 2 frames, yellow's going to continue to try to score here. Or clear here, I mean, and they don't get it clear. So what Chester is going to try to do is score pretty much on that printed number 7, maybe on the left side, maybe in front of it where it's in the 8, but basically where yellow can't get to it. So let's see if he can do it. Looks pretty good. No, curves left a little bit and a little short. So this leaves JM with a kind of a tough decision. It's, do you clear the yellow out? And then, because if you don't clear the yellow out, Chester can kind of maybe go for that same shot again. If you do clear the yellow out, Chester could bump that black disc into points, and you'll end up with a hard hammer. Or you could maybe go for points on the other side of the board, recognizing that you're sort of like in this disadvantaged position a little bit and play kitchen bait. Those are kind of like the 3 options. You could also put an 8 on the left side and hope that when Chester clears it out, maybe he misses and it leaves it in points or something. So a couple different options. For my money, I'm probably trying to clear that yellow and let Chester go for the bump. Even if he gets the bump, it's a really hard bump to make perfectly and have it be perfectly hidden. So that's probably what I'm going for. But instead, Jam goes on the board. Kind of goes for that center line where maybe he could split it on the next shot. It's pretty deep though. Roger was just coaching Chester to clear the yellow out and try to roll the black disc to the left so it's hidden behind those discs up front. That's not a bad, I mean, it's hard to do, but if you can get it, that's like a pretty good option. You can try to kitchen the yellow. As long as you don't leave it in points, you're making their hammer hard. You could also go for the hide again, and even if you get it, it's going to be a hard hammer. But it's kind of hard to go for the hide. I don't know. Let's see. So he's just blocking it up, going for a 10, and gets a 10. So he's thinking that yellow will have to clear that out, and maybe black will get lucky where it'll hit into that yellow disc and leave it in points, is what he's thinking. So definitely not an easy shot for yellow. In fact, quite a hard shot. Let's see if he can get it. Shoots it kind of soft and almost leaves it in points. If he didn't miss to the left as badly as he did, he would have left that in an 8. So definitely not great speed on that hammered attempt, and also didn't get the line right. But, that's a really hard shot, especially on court 3. Court 3 has a lot of really unpredictable drift. All right, so after 3, it's still 8-0. And, yeah, so 8-0, it seems like yellow has the advantage right now, but it's really anyone's game because black has this extra hammer here. And yellow has had 2 hammers so far. Black has only had 1. So the hammer being the last shot of the frame, you have such a strong advantage because you can just keep it clear, and whatever your opponent does, you have a chance with your final shot that if black can get a 7 or an 8 on the hammer here, it's either basically tied or tied. But Roger, with the miss clear, really rough way to start, and yellow with another hide opportunity. This whole match has been miss clear after miss clear so far. All right, so they're going cross court, and that one clipped the block a little bit and nestled its way into an 8. Really nice. I can't tell if that clipped the block or just sort of like curved left. And Roger, man, Roger gets the combo. That's not what he was going for though. Yeah, he was definitely trying to. Thank you. I got people bringing me waters. I got people bringing me paper plates to write the score on. This is so lovely. So yeah, Roger was trying to hit that straight on. I could kind of see as it left his tang, it curved to camera left. But he got really lucky with that combo. However, whenever you go for the combo, even if you get it, you're leaving your opponent with another hide opportunity on a shot they just went for. So I wouldn't be surprised if they get it. Comes in a little short. So yeah, Roger now, just like last frame, has to decide, do you want to clear out that same Pete up front? Which he tries to clear both, and he sticks it again. So opportunity number 3 for a hide for Sky Daddies. This one, I mean, you came up, the first one was good. The second one you came up short. You can't come up short on this one. Like, you had 2 chances at it. This is the finals of the banquet. You got to go cross court and aim for that deep 8, high 7. You got to get this. And he gets it. Wow, really nice. Pretty much the same speed. I would have aired on a little bit more juice, but that's hidden so well that we're in great shape. So yeah, this will be interesting. Roger, so the smart shot here is just score on the open side. He could go for the same combo he just went. Really hard shot. If he gets it, it's worth 8. Scoring 8 on the left side we're also worth 8. Roger going for the 8 and gets the 8. And after 4 frames, it is 16 yellow, 8 black. Oh man, this paper plate is so much better. Thank you very much. Shout out Jen from Stranger Danger for delivering a paper plate, and Tom from Tangers Only for bringing me a second cup of water. Even though it's my second cup, I appreciate it just as much as the first cup I received. Yeah, so really great match so far. The other thing to look out for in this court is the drift on the court is really weird, which we haven't really seen come into play too much yet. But on the yellow side of the court, there's sort of this like hill where the tip of the 10 in the side that they're shooting from right now, halfway between the tip of the 10 and the left side of the board, there's kind of like this hill where when you're shooting over that spot, you kind of don't know whether the drift is going to curve to the right or curve to the left. Drift being like the slope of the court. All courts have different slope on it, similar to putting in golf, the greens. They're not like perfectly flat because you want a challenging environment. Shuffleboard drift is the same way. You can't really see it visibly, but through trial and error, you create a mental map of where the court is sloping to the left or where it's sloping to the right. And yeah, there's like a really gnarly spot on the yellow side. So typically yellow has a disadvantage on this court because it's just so unpredictable. So it'll be interesting to see if yellow can steal this game, already being up 8. Game 1, they'll go into the second game on the better color with 1 game in their pocket. And Chester gets that 7, hiding behind that yellow disc up front. Really nice shot from Chester. It looks like yellow, though, does have a line on it, but it's not an easy one. Yeah, they definitely have a line on it, shooting from the outside all the way on the left, which is where JM is starting from. He needs to just drill it. What I would do is I would shoot it hard, because when you shoot it soft, the drift of the court, the slope of the court affects it more, whereas when you shoot it hard, it doesn't affect it as much. So yeah, just like that, he's kind of going for a hide. Oh, but he nails it. Wow. I was sure that was going to end up on the center line. Really, really nice shot. And he puts Chester in like a super tough position. If I'm Chester, though, I'm trying to score an 8 on the right side. Maybe even clip the edge of that yellow disc and bump it on the center line and end up with 2 scores. This should be interesting. He's going for it. Looks pretty good. Oh, curl in there. Whoa! That is so good. That is so good. Oh, yeah. That is so nasty. So there are 2 black discs there. Pretty hidden behind that yellow up front. Man, I feel like if you're yellow, you got to bump that yellow disc on the center line over and just sort of cross your fingers, like shoot it hard and cross your fingers that it gets 1 out. I mean, the distance between the yellow and the black discs are pretty close together, so if you hit it hard in that direction, you're definitely going to get it out, and maybe even your 7 will stay there. Just like what I said before, though, I would not throw it with finesse. I would throw it hard to try to really like minimize the amount the disc is affected by the drift. Yeah, they're really thinking about it. A lot of new teams, so you can see like everyone's kind of talking about it, right? We definitely allow coaching in the Royal Palms Brooklyn League, which if you're watching this from Florida, you're probably like, yelling at the TV right now. But we're like a very inclusive environment. We're trying to get everyone in the community better. And a lot of new teams, the way that they learn strategy is through discussion. So as long as it doesn't take too long, we allow it. All right, here we go. Let's see if he can get it. All right, shoots it hard. Looks pretty good. All right, he gets 1 of them. Definitely, he went for the split. He tried to aim at the right edge of the disc and basically get an 8 and a 7. Instead, he only got the 7, but the 7's wide open. So this is going to be a monster frame for Chester. If he can clear and replace this, he will score 21 points. I would not be going for the kitchen. Just shoot it hard. Gets it. Look at that perfect speed. 21 points for Black. Definitely something that I saw Adam mess up in the semifinal match, even though his team won, was going for a shot like that where he already had a hidden score. And instead he went for the kitchen and left his opponent in a 7. If you already have a score hidden, and in that case Chester had 2 scores hidden, like just clear and replace. Don't worry about the kitchen. A 21-point frame or gaining a 14-point frame is really great. You don't need a 24 or 31-point frame by getting the kitchen, because the worst thing that you can happen is you mess up and you only score a 7. Squander the opportunity. So yeah, really, really beautiful frame from Chester. And as I do some math, we got 16 yellow, 29 black. So yeah, black is, they're up 13, but yellow has these next 2 hammers in a row and the extra hammer. So if yellow keeps it clear and scores 2 hammers, they get 14, 16 points. They're going to be going up in the last frame with a lead. So I don't know if you need to be playing super desperate if you're yellow right now. I think you sort of take an opportunity if it comes to you. Like if your opponent goes on the board, try to kitchen it because you need to claw back some points. But you don't need to be forcing opportunities. You just sort of like keep it clear, score your hammer is probably good enough and puts you in a position where you just have to steal a hammer in the last frame. But it looks like he's lining up from the outside. He might be trying to go for a hide here, which is not an easy one. Let's see if he can get it. Yeah, clips it and rolls left. Really nice outcome there, even though he missed the shot, because he pushed that black disc to the left, meaning he could hide behind it on a future shot. And he put something up, which is kind of kitchen bait for Roger. Roger tries to clear it hard and sticks. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like you had that 7 on there, which we call kitchen bait, and now yellow has a kitchen opportunity, but it's going to go over that really difficult part of the court I described before. Oh, he just shoots it hard. Interesting. I'm surprised he didn't go over the kitchen there. I guess he's thinking it's a hard part of the court. Keep it clear, score the hammer. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so upset with it. It's not like Roger has anything to hide behind, and it's not like that black disc is really blocking yellow's path at a score in any way. So, yeah, this will be good. Let's see what Roger goes for. Probably just block in the middle of the board. Maybe high 10. Yeah, blocks the middle of the board, and yellow has to shoot a hammer down that really tricky left side of the board. And they're starting from the outside, so I expect this disc to curve to the left as it crosses that second lag line. Let's see. Yeah, curls left, but he had the speed good, but he ends up on the 7-8 line. Oh, that's so rough. Man. Played that frame really well, played it with a really conservative, sort of risk-averse mindset, not going for the kitchen. Got himself in the position where he had the open court, and unfortunately the unluckiness of hitting that 7-8 line means that they're going into the second to last frame down 13. So this is one where the mindset shifts. Before we were talking about keeping it clear, scoring the hammer, grinding out 2 hammers, going to the last frame with the lead. That's out the window now because of that 7-8 line. Yellow needs to go on the board or put up a St. Pete for themselves. They got to do something where they're going to score more than 1 disc on their hammer. Whatever your preferred way of doing it is, whether it's kitchen game or trying to put up a St. Pete and out-hide your opponent, either way is fine. I think most people would go on the board, which is what he was trying to do, and he comes up a little short. Not the end of the world, though, because that is something he could potentially bump on the next shot. So Chester's thinking about, what do I do here? He can hide cross-court and get an 8, but given the 13-point lead, I think he's fine just trying to clear everything. Oh, he goes for like kind of a, I don't know. Yeah, I guess he tried to clear it, but not a hard clear. And he rolls himself into the 10. But regardless of whether that was scoring or not, I think yellow's going to try to kitchen it because they need to get points back here. Yeah, black is content with just letting yellow score 8 or 7 points here because they'll go up in the last frame with a lead. The last thing they want is to get kitchen, and that's what's about to happen. Oh, but he comes up short. But 2 discs are in. So he got the 10, but he left the 7 in. And Chester has to clear that yellow out, but sort of like position the disc that he's shooting so that it blocks the 7 in play. Because if he doesn't, there's going to be a second kitchen attempt. And that's what I'm talking about. He ends up on the line on the tip of the 10, so the only disc is the 7. and black and yellow has an opportunity to kitchen this 7, which they absolutely need. I don't know what he's telling him. It looks like Glenn is telling him to do something with that 10, but I don't think that 10's in. No, that's on the line. So, yeah. So he's going for the kitchen. Yeah, going for the kitchen. Looks pretty good. And he gets it, baby. Crowd losing their mind. Unfortunately, he does not get the 7, though. And like I mentioned, he needed 2 scores this frame. If he was able to leave that 7 in, that would have been super pretty. But Chester still really needs to clear this out. Let's see if he can get it. Shoots it pretty good. And he gets it. Really nice clear. So amazing kitchen shot. Chester's able to clear it out. And now yellow doesn't really have a great opportunity to split that. So that yellow 7's on the line, so it's not worth any points. What he would want to do is, if it was there for him, if that black wasn't up front, hit the left edge of that and end up with 2 7s. But because that black's up front, I don't think he can hide anything. So I think you just got to take whatever spot on the court you're most likely to get your hammer, which is probably the line he just went for, I guess. Try to get an 8 on the right side. That's probably what I would do. Just get the 8 and then go into the last frame down 5 and then hope that your teammate can play a really solid kitchen game in the last frame. All right. Looks like he's lining up down the left maybe. Yeah, line up down the left, and it curls right, and he still gets it. The disc curves to the right, kisses the 1 at the tip of the 10, and stays in. That is very fortunate. Excellent hammer, though, from JM. And in the last frame, we have Sky Daddies on yellow down 5 points, and Big Tang Theory up 5 with the hammer. So game plan without the hammer this last frame. You got to steal a hammer, right? So the 2 ways of doing that are putting up St. Pete's and Tampas, hope your opponent doesn't clear it, and then you can hide a score. But then even if you hide a score, your opponent can still... Ooh, that was loud. I don't know what's going on. All right, they're having oh yeah, the unofficial rule. The unofficial rule of don't cross half court to talk strategy was just broken, and the crowd is responding accordingly. So yeah, if you're yellow, you got to go on the board and play kitchen bait. I was talking before about you could put up Tampas and St. Pete's, but even if you hide a disc, black's going to have an open court to score on and win the game. You got to play kitchen bait. You got to put your opponent in a situation where they're in the -10 and they have to clear and replace and do something tough to win this game. So yeah, if I'm yellow, I'm probably going to start by aiming for like a deep 8 or a high 7. Eventually you want to start aiming for deep 7s. But you don't necessarily want to start out with that because you might overshoot and put yourself in the kitchen. So you want to sort of like groove that kitchen speed. He gets a 10 there, and Roger clears it. Oh man. So yeah, Roger doesn't clear it. He sticks his disc in what is a perfect Tampa position for yellow on the right side of the board there. So I said before, like, you need to play kitchen bait, but if you have a hide opportunity, it is time to go for it. Take opportunities as they are given for you. And that disc also curved left, just like the last one. It stayed in points, though, but it definitely curved left, and it's not hidden, so Roger can clear it out. If I'm Roger, I'm not trying to get fancy here. I'm probably just trying to blast it, make him try to hide again in that really tricky part of the court. I think you don't really need to go for a kitchen and leave him in points. Roger blasts it, sticks it on the line, and now yellow has 2 good options. Hide again, do the same shot they just did, or maybe my preferred option, kitchen that disc that he just shot, that one on the left. I think you got to go for the kitchen here. He's going for the hide, and he gets it hide. Oh, ends up on the center line. All right. I mean, still a lot going on here. Roger probably wants to clear out. I don't know what Roger wants to do here. This is actually a tricky one because that split's pretty blocked up. If I'm Roger, you might, if Roger, so basically what you're trying to do is consider every possible outcome. If you clear the black disc, yellow can go for a side-to-side split, where if they get it and they get 2 7s, Roger's a little screwed. He has to clear and replace the 7 to win the game, which might be hard. But also, splitting that, even if you clear the black and your opponent has a chance to split, it's still a really hard split. They might not get it. If you block the left side of the board, there's a chance you don't block it well and your opponent gets the hide, but then you have a wide open right side of the board to make your hammer and win. So I think block the left. I think block the left is probably the right shot for me. Your opponent will be able to go for the hide, and even if they get it, you have a wide open board. And if you block it up perfectly, they won't have a hide. And yeah, that's pretty solid. Like, I will say that yellow just took this line 2 times already. So they do have like an area. They can access where that printed number 7 is on the right side of the board. So yeah, I think you probably try to score a 7 on the right side. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. And then if you get it, Roger has to score on the right. Maybe he hits the 7-8 line and you win the game. That's the move. That's definitely the move. I mean, or you kitchen the one on the left, but I think the hide's an easier shot, so I think you go for the hide. All right, let's see if he can get it. He's lining up for it. He just took the shot twice. Speed was good on the second one. Let's see if he can get it. Come on, baby. Looks like maybe a little hard. No, it's deep. Deep. So Roger, all he could do is throw up the side of the board, and Big Tang Theory wins game 1. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be back with you in a second. All right, and we are about to start game 2. We are doing practice shots before game 2 begins. Big Tang Theory with Paul at the head, Carly at the foot is going to be playing yellow. Sky Daddies on black with Jason Udoff at the head, Glendon at the foot. Glendon is the 2023 Thanksgiving Singles Tournament champion. Definitely watch that video if you haven't already. His match against Ryan was legendary. Coming out of nowhere to win the whole thing. Amazing, amazing shot making. Definitely watch that match. And yeah, we're gonna have a really good second game here. This is sort of do or die for Sky Daddies, having lost the first one. However, as I mentioned, black definitely has a slight advantage on this court because of the weird drift. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. All right, so they're doing warm-up shots. I'm going to talk a little bit of warm-up shots really quickly. I do this every video. You can see Paul pointing to where a St. Pete is. Everyone has their own strategy for doing warm-up shots. Typically, though, what you're trying to learn is of the 4 discs that you're shooting, are the speeds of the 4 discs different at all? Do you have any fast discs or any slow discs? So as you're aiming at a spot, kind of see whether the disc looked like it went further or shorter than you thought. So that's one. Number 2, it's sort of get a feel for what this court is playing like in terms of the overall speed, because based on the court wax, the humidity, just the condition of the court, all courts play at a different speed. So you want to see how fast is this court playing now? How fast is the court playing now? What does it feel like to shoot a kitchen shot? How much power do I need to give it? So try to develop that muscle memory. And then the last and possibly most important is learning the drift of the court. And drift being the sort of like slopes and peaks and valleys and all of the imperfections of the concrete where certain sections are higher than others, that will push your drift to the left or the right. As you saw Glendon's last disc go over a patch of the court where it curved really, really hard to camera left. So there's that spot between the tip of the 10 where that disc just went and the right side of the board where there's a little hill, where if you're to the right of the hill, it curves right. If you're to the left of the hill, it curves left. Like you saw with yellow, when yellow was shooting towards the head in that last frame, trying to hide down that right alley, it kept curving to the camera right. Yeah, you're trying to sort of create this mental map of the court in your head so you can figure out if I want really consistent hammers, where can I aim? Is like one side easier to score a hammer on than the other? Also, if I want to hit a disc straight on, can I just aim straight at the middle of it? Or do I have to aim a couple inches to the right of the disc and trust that the slope of the court will pull my disc and I'll hit it straight on? All of those like little nuance of like where you need to aim to clear and replace the disc, all of that comes from both taking your practice shots and then also considering where you're aiming and where the disc is ending up in every shot that you go for in the game. So that is a little tutorial on practice shots. So Paul's starting off frame 1 of 8. If yellow wins this, they are the Royal Palms Brooklyn Summer League champions. Sky Daddies on black, hoping to force a 4-frame overtime, which I think everyone in the crowd, as much as they want this dance party to start, they want to see more shuffleboard. They're rooting for that as well. And yeah, Jason playing on black right now. Sky Daddies beat us, the Golden Tangs, in the quarterfinals. And Jason played amazing. Just really, really consistent clearing, really, really consistent hammer making, just sort of like nailing the basics really, really well. And that was a big part of why they beat us. And that's what I saw in the semifinals as well. Like any hide opportunity, he went for it, he got it. not really leaving a whole lot of disc accidentally in scoring position. That time Jason on black cleared the disc out and kind of rolled it to a Tampa, and then Paul put a disc to the right to really block up that hiding lane. But Jason's going for the hide anyway in the corner 7, and he almost gets it. Wow, that would have been really sweet if he got it. And that's good for Paul to know. Like, you're definitely playing your opponent too. You know that if they're willing to chase down the alley like that, you can't really leave them anything. Unless you think they're going to mess up and kitchen themselves. But Paul here just sort of playing the percentages, blocking up the left side, making that hammer really hard for Jason. But he just took the shot. You know, he theoretically understands the drift, has a second chance at it, should be able to get it. Dials back the power a little bit, but it went too far to the right. Needed a little bit more juice and a little bit to the left. So after one frame, the score is 0-0. Really nice play from Paul, not getting too fancy, just sort of like making a hard hammer for his opponent, not trying to force anything that wasn't there for him by going on the board, going for a high 8, just blocking up the court and making your opponent have a hard hammer, sort of shuffleboard 101. Taking it back to how I used to play shuffleboard in 2014, not go for anything, just block up the board. Because when this place opened in 2014, no one had played shuffleboard before. No one was, making good shots really. So it was just sort of a block it up and win the match environment at the time. That's one thing that's really fun about the Royal Palms dynamic. Everyone kind of started playing shuffleboard at the same time when this place opened. And then there's this other renaissance after they reopened post-COVID shutdown, where a whole new set of people joined the league. And you have this sort of thing where you have people that have been playing since like 2014, 2015, who have the 10 years of experience, and these new people who join the league who have become obsessed, who are practicing all the time, who are trying to learn strategy by watching this shuffleboard YouTube channel that have gotten really good. And that's evidenced by Sky Daddies in the finals and making nasty hides like that. I mean, it's a high 7. Maybe it's not a nasty hide because Carly can get to it. But with the drift being wonky over there, it's not going to be an easy one. Yeah, really, really, really nice play. Throwing it super hard. The harder you throw it, the less the drift can take over. So really smart shot from Carly. Gets rid of it, but leaves herself in the 7. And based on how Glendon was playing against me in the quarterfinals, he's definitely going for the kitchen here. I don't know if he took a practice shot over there. I can't remember. So let's see if he can gauge the drift. Looks pretty good. No, curls left on him. Definitely gave it a little bit. I mean, gave it kitchen plus speed, which is what you want. You want to, when you're going for a kitchen, the last thing you want is for the disc for you to leave your opponent in. So giving it a little extra speed is always the right move. But he also Glendon didn't really get the drift perfectly. And then Carly with a nice hard clear. Love to see hard clears. And Glendon with his final shot will likely go for a 10, trying to get a high 10 so Carly doesn't have room to replace her disc in front of it, or a high 8 on one of the sides. I'd probably go high 8 on the left because I know it's so weird over there. Oh, that's so close. Glendon almost gets the high 10. Instead, it's on the line, not worth any points. And now Carly is going to shoot an 8 on the right side where the drift is a little more predictable. And it looks pretty good. And they get it. Really nice hammy. Crowd losing their mind. It is so loud in here. And after 2 frames, it's 7 yellow, 0 black. Sorry, I was laughing at Roger. Carly's like, "Where were you? I didn't see you." You want to support your teammate. And Carly's like, "Where were you? I didn't see you." And Roger says, "I'm right here. I'm the one yelling stuff." Yeah, he didn't say stuff, but that's okay. I don't feel like editing it out. More work for me. All right, frame 3 of 8. Black starts up with a perfect St. Pete. I'm calling that perfect. That's where I like them. Halfway between the tip of the 10 and the edge of the board. A little bit shorter maybe than the tip of the 10. Paul goes for the clear. Does not clear hard. Kind of the opposite of what Carly was doing. Gets a clear though, which is good. And Jason with another St. Pete. That's more textbook St. Pete, the distance of the tip of the 10, and exactly halfway between the tip of the 10 and the side of the board. I like mine a little higher and a little bit more to the right. And Paul clears it well. Really nice second shot from Paul. Jason going for the same thing. That one is a little bit more to the right. Paul could go down the alley and chase it, but there's no reason to. It's they have a 7-point advantage with the same number of hammers left. So you don't want to go down the alley, try to get it, miss, and give Jason a hide opportunity. So you just try to clear it out, which Paul does again really nicely. And for Jason's last shot, he's going to probably go for a high 8 or a high 10. And he gets a deep 10. All right. So when I say deep 10, it means that there's enough space for yellow to hit that straight on and score the yellow disc. A high 10 would be closer to the tip, where there's no space for yellow to fit their disc. So definitely Jason wanted a little higher, but clearing and replacing a 10 is not an easy shot, especially on this court. So let's see if Paul can get it. Also, let's see if he tries to kitchen it or just focuses on the 10 and shoots it harder than a kitchen. Looks like he's going for the kitchen, and he leaves them in points, I think. Oh, is that on the line? Man, you can't go for... I never go for the kitchen with those. She's calling it... She calls it on the line. He's calling it... Let's see what he calls it. Yeah, basically they each make a call, and if they disagree, then we get a third call. Oh my God, the whistles. All right, they're requesting a third call. Third call! Oh, there he is. Yeah, Jonathan's saying in the future, just each make a definitive call, and then the third call comes. He's off frame telling them. That's just typically like the best practice for like, you know, places that have rules. I mean, I guess NISA has rules, but our league does not. Oh, that looks definitely in. From here it looks in, but you got to look down the edge of the disc at a 90-degree angle. It's closer than I thought. Jonathan's taking a while. Yeah, so you want to look down the edge of the disc at a 90-degree angle, exactly on the edge of the disc. Not in. Wow. Not in. So Paul dodges a bullet there. I was saying, though, if you're going for that clear and replace on the 10, the worst thing that can happen is you leave your opponent in points. So when I go for those, I just focus on the 10. I don't go for the kitchen because I really don't want to mess up and leave my opponent in. Paul missed that. He missed the score, and they still have a 7-point lead, so it's not the end of the world. Although black has this extra hammer, so the game is kind of almost tied, or it is tied if black can convert on their hammer and score 7. All right, so no score there. Let me write that down. And we got frame 4 of 8 starting up now. Carly with a really nice St. Pete. Maybe a little higher than you want, but I'm happy with that. That's fine. And Glendon sticks it, but because it's so high, Carly to hide behind that would have to score a 7 pretty much right where the 7-8 line touches the left side of the board. So instead of chasing that deep 7, Harley's going for another block, and that looks pretty good.
A lot of stuck clears in this final.
A lot of stuck clears in this final. Yeah, we got Henry Mago with the golden tangs. Golden tangs. Yeah, it's sometimes on banquet days, I don't know if it's all the people in here, it's the humidity. I can't blame the crawfish boil because it gets just so sticky and it's so hard to clear. And clearing is such an important part of the game.
You clear like me, baby.
Yeah, well, Carly's been blasting it. Henry Mago with the hardest clears in the game, and Carly is giving him a run for his money right now. All right, so Glendon's playing kitchen bait with the hammer. He's thinking that he doesn't think he can clear both of those. And yeah, look at that hard clear. That's what I'm talking about. With authority. All right, so it's really interesting, though, Glendon with the hammer going for this kitchen bait. I mean, the score is almost tied, but I think he maybe... he doesn't feel like he can clear both those discs on the right, so he'd rather groove the 7-8 speed, get a couple more practice shots, and if Carly's not trying to kitchen them, it's basically like free practice, throwing up those 8s and 7s, and if she doesn't clear it, he has the chance to kitchen it. So I see what he's doing there, and she doesn't clear it, but it rolls onto that center line. So Glendon's thinking, do I try to kitchen and score that? I say no way. Go get the 8, go into the 5th frame with a 1-point lead. That's the move. Even if you overshoot it and you got the 7, then it's tied after 4 frames. You don't need the heroics right now. But he's lining up like he's going for some heroics. Let's see it, baby. He's going for the kitchen. That's way short. And almost leaves her in a 7. Man, that's what I'm talking about. These slow. Yeah, that's definitely a huge mistake. That's something you can't do. in banquet finals. Like, take the high percentage shot. Oh, we got a wave. The wave is a little ripple right now. The crowd is trying to get a wave going. I watched the last episode of Banquet where you can see a wave forming, and the players completely unfazed by the wave because they're so locked in. Yeah, get this wave going. This is the middle section is really dropping the ball here. I'm disappointed. Maybe around frame 6 or 7 we can try it again. All right, let's focus on the match. Paul is, so this is something else that, he doesn't get it past the lag line. That's rough. All right, I was going to talk about something, but because he missed the lag line, I can't talk about it. All right, interesting from Jason. Throwing up that same Pete with the hammer, potentially creating a clogged up board. However, with Paul just missing the lag line on his same Pete, if Paul doesn't place, Paul's going to fill in. He's going to put a yellow disc right to the right of that black disc and clog up the cross-court lane that Jason has. And that looks pretty good. So that looks great, actually. So Jason can't hide behind that black disc because the yellow's in the way. Instead, though, I think he might try to kitchen this yellow. Yeah, he's going for the kitchen and does not get it. But the result is Paul's going to block the right side, and Jason's going to have a really hard hammer again, just like frame 1 with Jason's hammer. Man, let's see if he can get this block perfect. He was going for it before, and he missed the lag line. Looks pretty short. No, that's pretty good. I like it. So blocked it up, so now Jason can go down the alley like he did in frame 1, or bump the disc at the tip of the tendon points. That's probably what I'm going for, I guess. I don't really know. Both are not great. And he comes up. Perfect. Nails it. Really, really hard hammer. And Jason gets it, man. I was talking about how good that guy is earlier. That was a clutch shot. And not only, yeah, that's really, really sweet. Man, and that's sort of like when I was talking also about how we played things in 2014, 2015, just blocking up the whole board used to work, but everyone now is so good that they will make shots like that. So you got to play a little bit more aggressive. However, I still think you play the percentages and do exactly what Paul did. He executed that frame perfectly, and he made Jason make the hard shot. It's just he got the hard shot because he's really good at shuffleboard. So yeah, going into the 6th frame, yellow down 3, and they whiff the clear. Oh, man. Yeah. He's speaking from experience. Henry says that is the danger of the power clear game. Speaking of his own experience, where he rockets clears, and who knows where they're going. It is true, though. The danger of the power clear game, that is like, well, we'll talk about it in a moment. Black is going for a cross-court hide. I'm interacting with the fans right now. I got to focus on the game. Oh, he comes up short. That's on the line. Yeah, it's so hard to clear at Royal Palms Brooklyn and Royal Palms Chicago because the courts are very slow. They don't put beads on the court. So you have to throw it hard to clear, and you have to be accurate. And it is really hard. Like, the harder you throw it, sometimes the less accurate you become. But I think it's still worth it to, like, just you gotta throw it hard. You just gotta practice throwing it hard and accurate. So she got lucky and rolled that into something she could hide behind on the next shot. So Glendon, if I'm Glendon, I still try to bump that black disc into points and get a hidden 8 or a hidden 7 and really apply the pressure, especially because you've been playing a kind of aggressive game. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Came up a little short. Oh, but it curved to camera left into an 8. But it's wide open. That's something that Carly can clear really hard. Let's see if Carly can clear both, though. I don't know what Paul's saying. Oh, wow. Rolled that. That is super lucky. That's in. Is that in? It looks in from down here. Oh, Paul's getting out the flashlight. Man, these whistles are hilarious. We need 2 calls, right? Before the 3rd call is technically how it's done. They're requesting a 3rd call. It's Banquet. Everyone loves a 3rd call. Jonathan is like, I really want you guys to actually call it, but we love a good third call in Royal Palms. Let's see. He's taking his time. That means it's close. And that is in. So Carly, I don't know if that's what Carly was going for. I don't think so. But really fortunate outcome with that 8 hit tucked right before that yellow, right behind that yellow. So Glendon doesn't really have a lot of great options. You know, there's no hide opportunities. There's nothing really to kitchen. So you either hide down the right side and hide a 7 down the right side. You go down the right, hide down the left side, camera left. Hide down the left side and hide a 7 on the left side. Go down the left side and throw it really hard and try to get that 8 out. Or go for a 10 or an 8 and just hope Carly misses. And maybe Carly misses in a way where she knocks her own out. So let's see. Looks like he's going for, yeah, he's kind of going for, almost looked like an 8 on the right or a 10, hoping that Carly might knock their own out. And this is a huge opportunity for Carly to score 2 and really shift the momentum in their favor. Yeah, the drift is gnarly here. So we saw when Sky Daddies was playing yellow and Carly trying to clear, it curves hard left in a certain spot. That one curved hard right and almost knocked Glendon in. So that's that hill I'm talking about. Oh, wait, sorry, camera. Oh, I got to remember camera left, camera right. That one was curving hard right. In that case, it curved hard left and almost knocked Glendon's disc into points. And Carly ended up on the line. So that's this is one of the hardest courts to play on because of that. You never know exactly which way it's going to go. But I will say, if you are a diehard fan of the channel, watch the match where the Body Yaddy Yaddies was in the finals because they sort of solved it. They knew exactly where to start from and exactly where to aim for to make that disc go straight. And I'm not going to say it right now because I'm going to make you go find that video. Body Yaddy Yaddies in the finals. All right, so Jason's starting off with some kitchen bait going on the center line. Paul is not afraid to play kitchen, though, especially with a pretty close game. And he goes for the kitchen but does not get it. So, yeah, definitely we're playing what Jason wants to play now. Jason wants to steal this hammer because he doesn't want to go into the last frame. If you just let your opponent score, they go into the last frame down 2 scores, like 13 or something. And you're going to have to play the kitchen game then. So it's like, why not start now? Goes for it again, but did not hit it straight on. Roger's trying to get Paul to clear it. I wouldn't be surprised if Paul tries to kitchen that, though, with that backstop there. But let's see. Yeah, going for the clear / kitchen. And Jason playing some more kitchen bait. Oh, he goes, well, I don't know if he was going for the score, but that is a perfect Tampa. Where if Paul doesn't clear it, Jason can score an 8 on the right side and it'll be perfectly hidden behind that black disc. So Paul, let's see if he goes for kind of like kitchen speed again or if he clears it a little bit harder. Yeah, he clears it hard. Roger's teammate, that's what I'm talking about. You need to clear hard. Despite the danger of the hard clear game, you gotta clear hard if you want to get that clear. All right, Jason going for a high 8 on the right. And he gets an 8 on the right. It's not high enough where Paul can hit it straight on and stick his disc there, but it's so close to the center line that Paul really has to nail this perfectly, clear the 8 out, and avoid that center line himself. So not an easy shot. Let's see if he can get it. Lining it up, looks pretty good. And he ends up on the center line himself. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's, yeah. Really, really nice shot from Jason. Didn't get the high 8, but had it close enough to the center line where Paul couldn't get it done. And we are going into the last frame with black down 5 and the hammer. A chance to, yeah, down 5 with the hammer. Oh, we're trying to get a wave again? There we go. We got the wave going. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm not doing commentary because I'm actively waving right now. I love the wave. Oh, and Glendon sticks it. All right, so that's the worst thing that can happen if you're Glendon. Because Carly's path to victory here is to get a nasty hide and have put Glenn in a position where there's a hidden disc on his hammer and he has nothing to score, or he can't gain points. And Carly gets the nasty hide. Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, there is a line down the alley where Glendon can clear it out, but it's really, really hard. So I think the right shot is maybe go for that alley shot. But it looks like he's going to clear the black up front, which I think I'm fine with. Carly's going to make Carly replace another blocker. What I would not do is go for the combo, trying to knock the black into the yellow. You only really want to go for those when the discs are like 3 feet apart or less, because the further apart they are, the harder it is to get. And he's going for the combo, and he gets the combo. What am I even talking about over here? That is so disgusting. Gets the combo, but it's wide open for Carly. Carly just needs, Carly can't really hide though, because it's right by the line. Yeah, man, really, really nice shot removing the black out, but there's nothing hidden. And now Glendon's sort of in this position where he has either kitchen bait on the left, or, I mean, you got a disc right there. I say you kitchen that disc, because if you don't go on the board on the left, Carly can hide again. So he's going for the kitchen, and he missed it badly. Oh, no. That's rough. That is sort of a game-losing shot because it is hidden behind that black disc. Yeah, Roger's really good advice. Check out the court from his side. See the path that Glendon has to make. Yeah. They're up 5. So yeah, the move is the move is you don't need to block anything on camera right. You want to basically stop Glendon's ability to make that combo shot. No, because they're up 5. And everyone is giving her terrible advice right now. Everyone is saying block the tip of the 10. But who cares if Glendon scores 10? He needs to score 5 or more. No one is making good advice. This is hilarious. Anyway, what Paul's saying is block to the right of that black disc. That's not what I do. I try to block between the black and the yellow disc so Glendon can't make that combo shot again. Carly blocks down the right. Glendon didn't really have like much of a path at that anyway, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe Glendon could have gone down the alley and kitchened it. That's great. It basically make the exact shot he made last time, where he goes for the combo and he scores, which, despite him getting it last time, is like a really, really low percentage shot. But he just got this shot. So if he can get it again and force this overtime, if he misses this, Big Tang Theory becomes the Summer League champions. This is a huge shot to determine the game. Oh, baby. He's lining it up. Shoots it hard, and he does not get it. And Big Tang Theory are your Summer 2023 League champions. Shout out to Sky Daddies with an amazing, amazing run. Congratulations for not only their first banquet appearance, but making it all the way to the finals. Oh, baby. Big Tang Theory, congratulations to Carly for that excellent, excellent play. Paul, Chester, Roger, even shout out to Adam, who was too scared to play in the finals, but won it, got them in the finals and the semifinals. Congratulations to all. I am going to sign off. Subscribe if you haven't already. The Carly Fan Club in full effect. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.